So if it takes me a month to produce a song, I will take a month. If it takes me 3 months to produce a song, I will take 3 months. If you want my production value, my production quality, my unique approach, which I do have, because if you listen to my stuff, it sounds not like alike. It's not cookie cutter copy paste stuff. It's something that I go deep into. If I get to produce a song, I will just dive deep into research, into like the motivations behind the song of the artist. I will go above and beyond to deliver like a unique, but at the same time great sounding mainstream product, quote unquote, like song result.
Yeah.
And I do it on my terms. So if someone comes to Hans Zimmer and says like, Hans, I need to score this movie. I need you to have to score this movie in like a week. Hans will say like, get the fuck out of my office, you know? Like, yeah. I will get it done when I want. Of course, I'm not Hans Zimmer though, but still, for me, it applies because that's the base case scenario. I hate being
It's a good way of it's a good way of weeding out those clients that will kind of topple, you know, that won't really get anywhere. You know, they're not going to work hard for their product at the end of the end of the thing. Because if they're down with that, then you guys kind of have a similar headspace of what's important.
Yeah, and that's the base case for them. If I hate being hectic, I hate putting pressure on myself because I know long term that shit leads to burnout, 100%. So here's the thing: in business, there's always a saying, "The client is king," which is the biggest bullshit I've ever heard. Like the client is not the king. Of course, it's not. We are the ones who put in the work, and of course, the client is a super important part in this whole equation. Of course, he is important. Of course, you should make him happy. But if I can't make myself happy in the first place, how can I make the client happy? If I'm being hectic, if I'm having anxiety over like deadlines, if I can't like sit down and work properly because I'm having like 50 things popping out like at the same time, like people hitting me up like, hey, is it done yet? Is it done yet? I need this right now. So if I'm having this, how effective am I at the end of the day? Not at all. My production suffers, my mental health suffers, which turns actually to the client. And then the whole process suffers under that. So if I'm taking care of myself, I'm giving myself the time, I'm giving myself the proper care, and I'm working by my rules, which should be like, you're the specialist. You're the guy who's making the rules. You should make your own rules. If I'm taking care of my mental state and I have the best conditions to produce, the result that's going to come out at the end will be amazing. So out of over 100 clients produce, and each and every client, there may be like one song or more. So I'll probably produce around 250 songs or like less, or like mixed together over like 3 years, which is actually a lot if I think about it. I just opened up my hard drive over like my time machine, and I scrolled down my list of like old archive projects, and it was amazing how much it is. Not everything is good, of course, but actually the rate of people not liking my stuff who hired me, or not liking my mix, or not liking my music is super low. I can count on my hands, probably like 5 people out of 100, maybe. Yeah. Like it. And it's not always the music itself as well. It's something like, it's just you don't vibe with those people, or like they have like
right, exactly.
Something
you've weeded out the people that don't vibe with you based on your terms and how you work.
100%. So
I think that's brilliant, man. Long
term, that approach, and this is a shout out to my psychotherapist / mental coach, whom I'm proudly represent. And like people always say like, hey, you take psychotherapy, like are you like sick or something? Like no, like this is hygiene for me, the mental hygiene, the same shit as I do like by going to the gym 4 times a week to take care of my body. That's the same thing I do once every 2 weeks, or like once every week, by sitting down with a mental coach and like weeding out my mental stuff and my insecurities, and just having a small little brainwash and just putting it all back in there and just being functional. I'm super pro mental health and pro.
I'm happy you said that. Yeah, because mental health gets stigmatized a lot, and
fuck this shit. Like
honestly, super important.
It gets stigmatized, but almost every single guy, girl, human being in our niche has problems in some kind, and that's just life. My parents have it. My friends have it. Everyone's having anxiety or depression or some shit in some kind, you know. It doesn't mean it not makes you functional as a human being or devalues you. the more unique a problem is, the more universal it is. You think you're the only one with this shit and everyone else is having fun on Instagram, which is the biggest lie again.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's a facade.
Because everyone is struggling and everyone is funny. Like people reach out to me, it's like, hey, you're so lucky having this life. Like you're having this like picture perfect life. I'm like, dude, you don't know shit. I'm struggling on a daily basis. Like, please don't idolize anyone on Instagram. And the same thing goes for me. I'm looking at someone else who made it, quote unquote, but then I talk to them in real life and they're like, dude, I'm struggling. I'm miserable. I'm like, okay, like calm down, Edward. So coming back to this whole issue, I know we kind of drift away from that, but there's lots and lots of important points I want people to understand.
I'm loving where these tangents are taking us.
Dope. So I just want people to understand that it just give yourself a chance in life, give yourself that little piece of mind.
Give yourself a break.
And don't make yourself crazy about failed projects, failed deadlines. And I'm talking to myself right now because I get into those funks once every 2 months where I'm like, oh my God, I'm like having so many projects that I haven't finished and people asking me like, is it done yet? And then saying like, what's the worst that could happen? Like I might fail a project. So what? Like every single business guy that's not in music, I know, like my mentors and my people who I look to in business, they failed so many businesses, they lost so much money, but they're still doing it. That's called building a career. Like it's called building a business. That's not like having everything fall into place perfectly every single time, which is the biggest pile of shit. Again, one of those huge piles.
Yeah.
But this is a thing that I was struggling with myself. Like
the perfectionism.
Yeah.
Thing.
Realizing my worth, am I worth it? Am I allowed to do this shit? Like, am I actually good enough? And then I should please the client always. If the client is like not happy, I should do everything to please them. Yeah, kind of. But at the same time, sometimes you just say, fuck it. And it's just the way it is. And in the first place, there's a Russian saying, I can translate it right now 1-to-1, but it goes like, there's lots of people, there's only you. So there's lots of other, like there's lots of girls, but it's only you. Don't fall for one, if it doesn't work out. So you're not stuck to her. Yeah. So just
in English, I think the expression would be there's plenty of fish in the sea.
It goes a little bit deeper in Russian, which means you're you. You need yourself for the rest of your life. Don't break yourself right now just because of some trivial thing that seems so important, catastrophical, but it's actually not. So long term, you still want to live. You still want to thrive long term. So don't like break yourself just because this shit is not working out right now. It might do tomorrow or like week down the line, but don't break yourself because of this.
Yeah. We put disproportionate amount of stress on ourselves and perfectionism to be a certain thing, and it's first of all unrealistic, and and biologically the way we feel it is disproportionately more than it is. You know what I mean? Like what this stress is about is a flash in the pan compared to the rest of your life. Whereas, it feels like, oh my God, a lion's going to eat me or something,
Yeah. The instinct, the reflexes are the same, basically, as if someone would kill you, or you feel like your life's threatened, but it's just our monkey mind playing crazy. And I was kind of getting a hold of my monkey mind over the last 3 years, which is good. Like it's like I said, it's called building a career. It's not having a career fall into place. So it's a journey, and kind of putting that together is an art as well. Putting your mental game together, your mindset and your positive beliefs, and weeding out what you don't need. That's nothing you can do in like a month or two. That's basically for the rest of your life, but at least for like a couple of years until you're more or less effective and well functioning, which I'm not perfect at yet. I will never be, probably. But honestly, even if I experience pain and suffering to some extent, I enjoy the journey. Like a pervert, they like being hurt, like masochists. So I'm secretly like a small masochist in that regard. I enjoy pain and suffering. Even if it's discomfortable and feels bad in the moment, long term, without the pain and suffering that I experienced over the last couple of years, and it might be like lots of anxiety and depression, all kinds of psychosomatic symptoms that you get with that, I'm super thankful that it happened, and I'm continuously being thankful for every setback that I have, because this is character building, and this is what makes you you, actually. If I wouldn't have those setbacks and the pain, I would probably be the same soft as bitch I was 5 years ago. And I wouldn't like myself even. So, of course, that's more philosophical. But
dude, you're keeping it so real.
I try to keep it as real as possible because it is real. I know people.
No, I'm happy you're saying these things.
People love to pretend that it's not happening. People love to pretend that everything is dope. And I'm working with this artist. And as soon as I say suffering or pain out loud, people just cringe. They're like, ugh. I see the reaction. They don't like it. They don't like to talk about the shit. They don't like to talk about pain, about suffering. They want to hear the winning stories, but there is no winning without pain and suffering at all.
Nice.
And I will always be the one who said, even if people don't like me saying, but because I'm not being negative here, like I'm not being a victim at all. I'm the last guy being a victim. I weeded the shit out of myself. Like I'm the last guy who say like, hey, the music business is bad, the economy is bad, the politics are bad. Nope, I'm not the last guy. I'm the last guy being negative, even amidst pain and suffering. I will be the one, hey, who's like, hey, this is good. This is, if you're feeling pain, like move on. This shit is good for you. This is what gives you the edge. This is what polishes a raw diamond until it shines. So I'm the last guy being negative about it. I might talk about it, but actually to empower people, to empower myself, to make it count in the end.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, like I there was a time when I was much more of a complainer about the music industry and being like, oh, this is such a tough place to be. How can you grow? How can you do this? Blah, blah, blah. And I think I was complaining about how the internet was like, destroyed the music industry. You can't buy CDs, blah, blah, blah. And dude, my friend was like, listen, the internet can enables you to do more than like you can imagine. You have access to things you never had access to before. Right. So obviously there's good and bad.
We wouldn't be talking right now.
Exactly. There's good and bad in every technological advancement, but like you have to look at it for the best and you have to use it for the best. Otherwise you're in like this self-defeatist spiral that you're never going to get out of, Yep.
I still see those people complaining about the Instagram algorithm, how Facebook is not working anymore, how they don't get clients. But it's like, if you spend all of your time complaining, like where do you have the time to actually sit down and do the proactive thing where you actually learn about Facebook ads and Instagram ads and like collaborations and putting out content that actually helps people and they're being appreciative of that. How about that? Because those people, they watch all of the Gary V videos. How about you apply some of those and actually get some ROI out of your situation, So there's no complaining, whining, being negative, and thinking there is too much competition is for losers. It just is how it is. You can complain about it, but is your life going to be better? I don't think so. Maybe you might feel better in the moment because it's giving you like an endorphin rush. It's like, oh, feeling good in the moment because I'm spazzing. And it's healthy to vent sometimes, just, grab a beer and just grab a couple of friends and like, hey, this is fucking shitty. I hate this. But like then next day, return back to your work.
Yeah. So what do you listen for the first time you hear a song? And that said, when you listen, do you prefer to hear like a demo or a live performance, or what are you trying to hear?
Whatever the client has. Yeah, if someone else reaches out to me at this point, most of the time they do have some kind of online presence already. They do have some releases, at least 1 or 2 releases or more. And they themselves know exactly what to expect from me. What do they want from me? Because usually they have been following me on Instagram for some time and seen what I do, how my stuff sounds like. So at the point when they actually reach out to me and wants their stuff produced or mixed, they already know what to expect and what to get. So usually they would have an idea, maybe some basic chords and a top line, so some kind of singing, or they have a raw demo. I just had this one Ukrainian guy reach out to me a couple of weeks ago. He's a showman and he's pretty known in the scene, and he's doing lots of funk. So he has a couple songs released already that sounds good. But what he wanted was something more refined, more unique, because the funk stuff that they did as a collective sounded good, but it was super cliche, like typical 70s funk, super cheesy, hooky, but nothing that sounds like 2019.
Yeah.
So he approached me and said like, hey, I know we have like like a good unique style, and you can combine like 2019 energy and like classic 70s